Happy Monday, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey. It's 1 o'clock on Monday, September 4th. Can you believe it's time for September is already here? I believe it's time for September is... Sorry, I forgot to put my computer on mute as usual. Must have been listening to something on it yesterday. I don't know. So it's September 4th, and that means that in 2 days you'll be able to order from the new mini catalog, and that'll be exciting. So I thought maybe it was time to start sharing some things from the mini catalog. Now just be aware, I'm very distracted because I'm busy getting everything ready for Super Saturday, and so my mind is crazy right now, but we'll see. Hi Jamie, thanks. Happy Labor Day to you too in the United States. It's a holiday, so celebrating all the wonderful jobs and people that support us with their jobs. So I'm going to do some polar bear cards. Now you might not have noticed in the catalog, this very first page is some designer series paper, and usually, you know, you think this is just like an introduction to the catalog and you don't pay attention to it, but this is some specialty paper. And what's special about this paper is for every pack of paper that's sold, Stampin' Up! Is donating $3 to different charities, and here in the United States they're donating $3 to Toys for Tots. So this is some pretty cool paper. It's neutrals, of course, on the back, and pretty designs on the front, and it's got these polar bears and some pretty Christmas trees, some stripes. Let's see, those would work for lots of things. Just a bunch of nice different designs. Oh, some fun little Christmas trees. I think these are cute. So take a look at that and think about what kind of cards you could make with this. But we're also combining it with the Beary Christmas suite. We're going to use some of the paper from that. So we're using some of each to make some cute little Christmas cards. So let's get started. I hope you guys have your wish list already started for Wednesday. Let's see. This is the Beary Christmas paper, and it's just as cute also. I've almost used the whole pack of that, getting Christmas cards ready. Let's see, what will we do first? We will do this fun little Christmas card. We're going to change a little bit on it because I've used up all those little polar bears. We're going to have to stamp our own polar bear. We're going to start with a piece of Night of Navy. This paper works with Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight. So either one of those will work. Whichever one is your favorite. Now we don't want to glue this down yet because we're going to put some ribbon on here. And I don't like my ribbon on the inside, but we need to do some heat embossing. So these are the deckled dies. You get 14 different circles with this set. Huge all the way down to small. This is like the 4th largest one. I had already cut a white one. It was just left over from another project, so we're going to cut a Night of Navy one. And that layers it. I thought those kind of looked like snowballs. What do you think? Hi, Cherie and Karen. Gosh, finally, you got to be here on time instead of rerun. So don't you think that looks like a snowball? I think we could stack them up and make a snowman. We'll have to see. Now, I want this to be white embossed because you can't stamp on blue you wouldn't see much color. So we're going to do a low heat embossing. That's the only fussy kind of thing we're doing on this one. And this says Warm Wishes. It's part of the Beary Christmas stamp set. Oh, I should have shown you that stamp set. Let me get it out. Well, it's sitting right here. It's Beary Cute. And you get some nice sentiments, some cute little packages, some trees, and some polar bears. So we're going to use that today. Now we need to put white emboss. Oh, I didn't use my embossing buddy. Let's see. Wonder what would happen if we just kind of pretend. Hopefully it'll be okay. It was sitting right here. I told you I was distracted today. Hi, Trisha. Thanks for popping in. And Anne, happy Monday. It is kind of, maybe I should have taken Labor Day as a holiday. It is a nice quiet day around here. I think we're going to be okay, even though I forgot the embossing buddy. Well, just a little bit there. We could just pretend it's snowflakes if it does messes up. Okay, let's get this. This will be noisy, but not for long because this is pretty small. Don't you think heat embossing is as close to magic as we get, isn't it? It's pretty magical. I think we did okay. So these are all pretty simple. Maybe a little more involved than some, but not too much. Put our little snowball on there. I love this paper that looks like a sweater. Makes me think of going to the Nordic countries. Or Ireland would be the same too, wouldn't it? And now we've got some fun ribbon. This is new. And it's called Silver and White. But see, it's sheer. Isn't that pretty? So we're just going to run that over our snowball. And attach it with some glue dots. Thank you guys for watching Crazy Crafters on Saturday. It was a good day. And such cute cards. Some pretty cards, some cute cards. Something for everybody. And it wasn't all Christmas either. I think Leanne did birthday. I thought That was good. Everybody has a birthday, and not everybody sends homemade Christmas cards, handmade Christmas cards. So, put this, now we're ready. We can put this on our card front. You could make this, even though these polar bears have Christmas trees and stuff on them, I really do think they could be used for birthdays and stuff too. We need a little scrap to stamp our polar bear on. Let's hope this is my scrap piece. Put this embossing powder away so it doesn't spill. Have you ever had it on your desk and hit it and there it went all over the place? Of course we've done that. So here's our sweet little polar bear. And he needs a hat and a scarf. So we'll put, that's the wrong one. We'll put that on this same piece of paper. I'm pretty sure I have that right here on the desk. Yeah, I need some, so it has a matching little scarf. And of course you could use any color you wanted. And a little pom-pom hat. The fun thing about this is he can get punched out. This punch will punch the polar bear that you stamp, and it'll also punch the polar bear that's on the paper. I love when that happens, so we have more uses for our punches. But we do have to fussy cut these, but they're not too hard. It's pretty quick. I love having a good punch that you can use. We're going to have to think of some other ideas for these polar bears. Maybe we could do a Halloween polar bear, a doctor polar bear. Remember the owl punch that we had so many characters. But in the Walk in the Forest paper, that's the charity paper, the bears are brown bears. So I was reading about polar bears earlier, that they are cousins of brown bears. And they're actually considered a marine animal. Isn't that weird? And I read that they can swim for 4 or 5 days straight without ever coming out of the water. That's a lot of energy there, isn't it? We'll put him on with dimensionals. Now, I'm sure when I will forget all that knowledge about polar bears until the next time I decide to look it up. I do know they're pretty vicious, though, I think. So you don't want to play with them. Even though they look like they'd be cute. Gold glitter. Oh my goodness. Yep. Have you been making those ornaments that you pour the glitter in the balls. I know, Anne. It said they could swim continuously for several days in a row. I mean, that is so strange, isn't it? Uh-oh, did I throw the hat in the trash can? No. Here it is. Might need to put a mini glue dot on that. I guess I thought polar bears just laid around on an iceberg all day long. Big, fat, lazy polar bear. Now, isn't he cute? Of course, he needs a little faux bow here. And I love this little pop of silver is really nice. Because I think for Christmas you always need some kind of silver, gold, copper, blingy stuff. Trim that off so it's got a pretty little angle. And easy peasy bling on this one. We're going to use basic rhinestones. Oh, and I also punched out, die cut, a little snowflake from, it's the Celebration dies. I think it needs a little snowflake up there. And if you don't have a snowflake die, you could, you might have some of those snowflakes we had a couple years ago. You might have some leftovers. But there's always a little something you can add to give it a little interest. So there's our first card. Do have a piece for the inside. I think I will just stamp Merry Christmas and add another polar bear. And I had a tiny scrap of paper, leftover paper. That is about all I have left of this paper. I've used it all in all the colors, green and blue and red. Yes, it's Beary Cute, isn't it? So there's our cute little polar bear. We could have put blue on him, but I like the red. It's more Christmassy. So our second card, let's see if I even remember what it's going to be. Yeah, we're going to use the blue paper this time. I probably need to get my paper trimmer here because I'm not real sure. I want this at the top and this at the bottom, and I don't need quite that much, so I think I can cut it right about there. Wasn't real sure what my measurements. I had not made one like this until just now. So let's see if this is the one we need. Now, I put this on Balmy Blue. Look at those. See those polar bears on the icebergs on the back. And then we'll add this. And this is such cute paper. This is the Beary Cute Beary Christmas paper. And we have this really soft velvet ribbon. We're going to put on there. We'll wrap it around. You know, it's a little thicker than some ribbons, so it doesn't tie a beautiful bow on your card, but you can use it for so many other things. Now, rather than glue dots, I'm going to put this on with some tear and tape because it is thicker. I think it's going to need that extra hold. Somewhere I have lost the cap for this. I'm going to have to clean my desk off and find it. But not today. And this one's so simple and easy. That's, you know, when you're making 100 Christmas cards, that's what you need. How many Christmas cards do you mail? We usually mail around 120, I think. We'll have to count this year. Now here's a piece of this really cute paper. This one doesn't punch because he's got the packages. So we're going to have to fussy cut him. There's another one that's real cute that has a rabbit on its back, but this is a scrap piece, so, because see, I've used all of that blue. So that rabbit's probably on the back side of one of my other pieces of paper. What's nice about this is you can leave that little blue border around the edge and you don't have to worry about getting it perfect. I never worry about being perfect anyway, but some people might. He's got a little pointed toe there. Clip his toenails. He's a little fussier than I thought, but he's still a fun little polar bear. Oh, another thing I learned about them is that their skin is black. Now, how does it not show through all that fur? You'd think when they get wet that they'd be kind of black looking. Maybe when they're wet they just look real gray. I don't know. We'll be polar bear experts pretty soon. And we're going to stamp Merry Christmas. Like I said, this is super easy. Right here. And we'll stamp that with Night of Navy. I like this paper. You know, I'm not a cutesy Christmas person. I usually go for the more classic, but this paper is still really cute. And we need to trim that. We can just trim it with our scissors. Make sure we kind of have it lined up. snip that off. And we'll just put that down here. I think I'll put that on with a dimensional. You saw I was studying that, trying to decide. But we might as well, we'll put the bear on with a dimensional. And then we'll be done. We might need some littles. Those are all used up. We'll just cut a little piece. I've got to use those edges. I don't let them go to waste. A lot of dimensionals there. But I'm with Leanne. She said she doesn't like soggy cards, and I don't either. I don't like saggy, soggy looking cards. And we'll just put him kind of centered there. He's got a load of packages, doesn't he? He needs to come to my house. And we'll put a couple rhinestones on here. Ooh, this gives me a chance to use the larger ones. I tend to leave those for my last choice. I could put a couple of the small ones up there. He could have stars in the sky. Let's do that with this. It'd be easier. Little twinkle stars. Okay, so that's our second card. And the same on the inside. I'll put a piece of white. Oh, we got something else though. We're going to put a little bow on here. This is retired, but you know me, I'm going to use some of my stash every once in a while because it's got silver glitter on it. And we'll just add a little bow. Because remember, I said this ribbon here doesn't tie real well. And I think this, even though I think this is pool party, it still coordinates. Because the silver kind of tones down the color anyway. Trim that a little bit. And that's our second card. Cute. Cute card there. Now our third card is a little more involved. And it's a fun fold. So we'll try that one. And it uses Beary. This is the Walk in the Forest paper. And it's on Pretty Peacock. Look at that. I pulled the Lost Lagoon ink pad. But we'll fix that, won't we? These are the little snowballs. Now, I thought about leaving no border, but I wanted a little border around this, so white seemed like the logical choice. So sometimes I like the extra layers, and sometimes I like just one layer. I think that's personal preference there. Now we need to do all our layering first because we're going to sneak this edge piece under there so it won't show. Now, I did not put an extra layer on this one. There was enough paper thickness. But we need the white one for this. That might be what I stamped on. So let's trim this one, and we'll use the paper trimmer. You have too much paper laying around, you're going to mess it up sooner or later. With the measurements, this is 3, so we need 3 and 1/8. And that should be yeah, we'll trim this one down a little bit. I think that'll do it. Let's hope so. That's what I get for all my papers here. Yep, that's gonna work. Those little trees, you could color them with some Wink of Stella and give them a little shine. I don't think we need that. Now this is going to go here, so we want to get that on before we put our inside piece. And it can hold that down. And it's really just an eyeball kind of towards the center. And you want it lined up right to the edge. And I will put this on top and it'll hide that seam. This is a really versatile card sketch and layout. You can use it so many ways, and it can be vertical or horizontal. You can have your little flip be here or here. Flip-flop card. Now we're going to cut this tree with a die, and we're going to punch the bear. That's what makes this one nice and easy. And we still have extra trees we can cut out for other projects. To decorate the inside, there's our little brown bear. I'll punch him out. And the merriest trees dies match this Walk in the Forest paper. It's got all these little textures, some little ornaments, a tree stand, the larger trees, the smaller trees, and you can also layer these trees so they get a 3D effect. Lots of choices on these dies. So now we're just going to put this one on here, and I think we'll trim it around the edge to make it easier to go through the machine. lighten that up. Look how nice. See, if you use that other die, it will cut the scallops on the smaller tree. And I think that's a nice little effect. Love this Post-it tape. I think that one roll has lasted me well over a year so far. Because you can reuse it. I mean, that is so strange that you worry about reusing tape, but why not? Then you have more money for stamps. I had an aunt who grew up during the Depression, of course. She would save her envelopes and turn them inside out and use them again. That's pretty frugal, isn't it? I don't know that I could turn an envelope inside out, but I guess I could. We should all be a little more frugal. I do put mine in the recycle bin. I guess that counts a little bit. Now we can put our little bear on. Some of you might get one of these cards in the mail. You never know. You'll pretend like you've never seen it before. Or we can put our little happy little bear on there. Some rhinestones on the tree. Where's my... There it is, right in front of me. Take a pick tool. I think we can put the big star at the top. And then we'll just sprinkle some smaller sequins, all different sizes on the tree. We don't have to worry about that rule of 3 on this tree because it's a Christmas tree. We can put what we want. It would be cute to put a little ribbon around his neck. Well, since I pulled the wrong ink, we'll just pretend that I stamped this and punched that out, and this is our finished card. This stamp set, this sentiment, you do need to hold it down on there and let it kind of soak into the paper. When you have these broader fonts, you have to really watch to make sure you've inked them up well and done. I think you'll know if you need to practice that. I always practice those on a piece of scrap paper anyway. I'm not brave enough to use a piece of paper. So these are Beary Cute cards today. Each one a little different. Our punched out paper ones. And then the ones we stamped. with the snowballs. I hope you've enjoyed these. So you might put this paper on your list. I think you could easily incorporate these into some Christmas cards for your friends and family. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Yes, Karen, you need this paper. I think you do. I have no reason not to get it. Bye.